First of all, thank you for the invitation to speak to American Libraries. It's super exciting to be talking to you. My motivation for writing this book was really very personal. I felt that we hadn't done a good enough job as the news media, certainly here in the United States, in terms of telling the story. And I felt the story was only half told. We knew the headlines that they'd gone missing in 2014, but the follow-up, not just as to what had happened to them while they're in captivity, which is a difficult story to get, but even the easiest story of who were they? What kind of girls were they? What kind of families did they come from? What their hopes and dreams were? That story hadn't been fully captured. And for me personally, I felt that we needed to tell their full story and recognize not just what they went through, but also what they overcame to be the survivors that they are today. Yeah, it was an incredibly difficult book to write for that reason. When I first sold the idea of the book, it was on the basis of the fact that none of the girls had been released. And then fast forward something like 6 weeks later, and 21, in fact, 22 were out. One girl had come out. She had escaped when I sold the book. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, and there were 21 more girls who had been released. So suddenly, what had been a book about a cold case suddenly had 22 girls who were free. So the book was completely different immediately. Fast forward to the question of the fact that there are more girls that are still in captivity. We don't entirely know what has happened to them. There's some speculation, but nothing definitive. And then the fact that I'm interviewing girls who've been through trauma. That first and foremost is my concern, how to get their story without traumatizing them a second time. So that was always on my mind, and it was something that I took very seriously. I think I want to tell the stories of people whose voices are too often not heard, marginalized communities. I have a non-profit already focusing on adolescent girls in Sierra Leone, so a lot to do with women and girls. I want to tell stories about women and girls around the world, and not just around the world, but here in the United States. I want to tell stories that break down barriers, that help people see the world more clearly, and really focus on untold stories. So I have a production company working on some projects there. I'm doing a live event bringing women together in Africa. I've got the book. Lots happening.